So you're looking to shake it up. You know, at my house, the big question every night, Jill Sharpe, is what are we going to make for dinner? And then we just labor over what. So you have got an incredible dinner here that we can make tonight. Jill and her husband have Lake Kitchen, and you're a cooking teacher. So take us through. This is a 3-course meal. Get us started. What are we going to make?
Okay, so as if you're going to a steakhouse, it's going to be a lot less money, just as much flavor. So what I like to do is go to the grocery store, and they'll have those take-and-bake breads, and pop them in the oven so you have a fresh bread to start your table with, you know, just like they do in the restaurants. And then what we're going to do is move on to a wedge salad. Everyone loves the classic wedge salad. And we're going to make homemade blue cheese. You don't have to be worried about this. It's super, super easy. So we have mayo here. We're going to add about a 1/4 cup of milk.
How much mayo do you have there?
You know, we have about...
That's a lot of mayo.
It's a cup of mayo. So we have a cup of mayo. And like I said, I didn't say we're low fat this time. We're just really good.
Sure.
So we have a few swigs of Tabasco there. And, of course, blue cheese dressing, blue cheese. And, you know, I like to make sure and get a wedge and crumble it myself. It just has a lot more flavor and is a little more moist than the pre-crumbled stuff.
It smells so good.
And then a little bit of lemon here. You want to have a nice little tang to it. And a little bit of salt right on top. And that's it. You mix it together. Simple and easy. And you know what? This is even good. You can make it a day or two ahead of time and snack on veggies on it or whatnot. And right now, blue cheese dressing.
Oh, that's
ready
cool.
to go. See? Simple and easy. What we do then is just take a little bit of it. We're going to top our wedge. And here we have a iceberg wedge. Just take an iceberg lettuce, chop it into 4s, and you have a wedge. Yep, super easy. And then our toppings. So I did a hard-boiled egg. You just chop that up. A little hard-boiled egg on top. Everyone loves the bacon, right?
Yeah.
Bacon and blue cheese are a match made in heaven. And some toasted almonds, a nice little crunch on top of there. A little bit of color with some tomato. See, and it's easy. You just pile it on top.
Cool.
If it falls down, no problem. And then, you know, I'll just put a few little red onions right on the top, and you have a perfect wedge salad ready to go.
Simple. I love it.
Simple and easy. Okay, now for our main course. We're doing a flat iron steak. And, you know, flat iron steak is a less expensive cut of meat, so it's really accessible. All the grocery stores have it now. One of the things that I want to make sure and let people know is you want to cut it against the grain. So if you can see here, the grain is going this way, and we want to go ahead and slice it against it, and that makes sure we get a nice tender piece of meat.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. And then what? So
the flat iron, I don't mean to interrupt. That's I think a shoulder cut, isn't it? I had a butcher say this is like one of the most tender cuts of meat.
It is. It's really, really great, you know, and it's kind of come back in style recently, and so it's a great alternative to, you know, a ribeye or a fillet, something like that.
Tastes great. Cut across the grain, otherwise it's going to be like jerky.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So make sure you cut across the grain. Then we're going to get to our delicious sauces. So if we go like this, we'll put a little bit of our lovely steak right on our plate here. And then to top it off, we have a Gorgonzola sauce. All I did here was take cream and Gorgonzola cheese, melted it down, and it makes this delicious sauce.
Wow.
And you just top it right on top there.
Oh, man,
and you know, it's so good. You can even put it on a baked potato, too, if you want. But
or drink it.
Or drink it, yes, yes. Either way. And then the topper on this, which I love the flavors together, are the mushrooms here. So I did cremini mushrooms, just a little bit of olive oil, sauteed them down a little bit, and then this is how simple this sauce is. This is a balsamic vinegar. That's about 1/2 cup. We're going to do about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce in here. So you have that, and once actually the balsamic vinegar kind of comes down, it's really sweet. So you have salty, sweet, a little bit of thyme in here.
You reduce it for a little bit?
Yep, you reduce it for about 8 minutes or so, and then you add a little bit of granulated garlic. Stir that around, let that reduce, and you come up with this beautiful sauce. These onions are just to die for.
I've made that kind of a reduction before, balsamic, soy sauce, mushroom. It is unbelievable.
It really is. And with the steak, the meatiness of the mushrooms, it's perfect.
Okay.
So now we have our vegetables, and we are going to make a Hollandaise, a blender Hollandaise for it. So what you're going to do is take 4 eggs here, pop them in your blender, and then you're going to do a little bit of lemon juice. Make sure you catch the seeds here. You don't want any of those going in. And then I'm going to squeeze over here, grab a little bit of our Tabasco. Perfect. And a little bit more of our salt. We're kind of sharing our recipes here. Right there. And pop our lid on. And this is how easy it is. So this, if you wanted to do Eggs Benedict in the morning, great for that too. So we're going to turn it on, and we'll get it going. And all you do, add your butter in here. And you're done.
So you don't cook it?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. And
do
so
you have to be careful with the raw eggs, though?
Yes, you do,
Yeah.
and that's personal choice. You can get pasteurized eggs out there, but I always use organic eggs, and so I think that helps a little bit with the freshness, the quality. So then you can see here, you have a beautiful sauce, just
so
to put
Hollandaise,
straight over the top
eggs.
there.
So, Jill, unfortunately, we're out of time, but you know what? This three-course meal, you've made it look so simple and easy, and it's so good. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Once again, Jill Sharpe. You can find the recipes on her website, thelakekitchen.com. I know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. Lily, back over to you.
I know what I'm eating right now when you bring it over here. Thank you, Jill.